The day gonna come when I won't march no more. The day gonna come when I won't march no more. But while my sister ain't equal and my brother can't breathe, hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. There go my sister, hey, marching with me. There go my brother, hey, marching with me. There go my father and my neighbor, marching with me. There's my mother marching on till the people are free. Hey, hey, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. That's right, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. But while my sister ain't equal and my brother can't breathe, hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. Hey there, policeman, oh, I can't breathe. Hey there, policeman, and I can't breathe. Hey there, policeman, woo, I can't breathe. Lay down your weapons and your cages and listen to me. Yeah, yeah, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. Oh, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. But while my sister ain't equal and my brother can't breathe, hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. Do you call that a president? No! Well, he ain't marching with me. I want to see a mayor marching with me. I'd love to see a senator marching with me. Come join my family as we march toward equality. Hey, hey, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. Oh yeah, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. But while my sister ain't equal and my brother can't breathe, hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. Maybe tomorrow when the people are free, maybe tomorrow then we can have some equality. Maybe tomorrow I can truly breathe. Till then my voice will fill the streets. Let the people be free. The day gonna come when I won't march no more. Oh yeah, the day gonna come when I won't march no more. But while my sister ain't equal and my brother can't breathe, hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. Hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. Hand in hand with my family we will fill these streets. You know, while we were singing, I saw a couple of butterflies right here just dance right in front of us. Do you know what they do and how they got here? Migration.
You got one more? Want one more?
Okay. So it is very cool that a lot of us are here, right? And all of us can think of others who do need to be here, right? But one of the cool things about community is that we can carry each other where we go. And we actually are coming here and bringing so many people with us just by being present. I know that I have a lot of people that I carry inside of my heart. Does anybody else? Hey! So I like to sing this song that goes, I have not come here alone. Can you sing that? I have not come here alone. Beautiful. I carry my people in my bones. I carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. I have not come here alone. And if if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. Let's do that. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. My people in my bones. I have not come here alone. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. Carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not, no, come here alone. Carry my people, I carry my people, yeah, in my bones. I have not come here alone. If you listen, and if you listen, you can hear them with my soul. If you listen, and if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul.
Hello, everyone.
Hello!
Much gratitude to all of you for coming out on this beautiful summer night. We are elated that so many of you are here. Please give yourself a round of applause. So we just have some housekeeping items that we need to go over before tonight's program. So this is a federal building, meaning that there are stricter and more harsh fines for breaking laws. So let's just not do that tonight. Anyone on the grounds where this federal building is subject to search no matter what. I just want to make you aware of that. This is a place where you have fewer rights than you normally would. So also, no use of alcohol, drugs, tobacco, no gambling. And please clean up after yourself. Can we just all agree to leave it better? And I don't just say that, I say that because this is Dakota land.
All right.
And if you are parked anywhere else besides the south park and ride or the north park and ride, please move your vehicle because we're not responsible if they get towed. So if you're parked on the street out here where there was a softball game or anything, I just ask that you move your vehicle. If you're okay with it being there, that's fine. We just don't want anybody to get towed. Okay? Okay. So I have some really exciting news for all of you. We heard that the Lights for Liberty event has officially surpassed the Women's March as the largest grassroots event ever in the history.
Yeah!
At about 1 o'clock today, there were 788 events worldwide.
Woo!
Worldwide. So they're calling it the largest mass mobilization in history.
Woo!
Places like Mexico, South Africa, Israel, France, Germany, Spain, Senegal. These are just some of the places around the world. There's also 5 key events planned: El Paso, Texas, Homestead, Florida, San Diego, New York, and Washington, D.C. And right here in Minnesota, we have 12.
Yeah!
This is truly an accomplishment that can only be made when we come together as individuals and work together. Looking just like every one of you tonight. We can all do something, even if it means having a candle in your window from tonight on, in honor to never forget asylum seekers who are locked up in concentration camps in our nation and separated from their families. We will tell you later more about the action steps that you can take. But first, I'd just like to tell you a powerful and lighthearted story. When people are called to action through social media platforms, this can bring about massive change. We can create an assembly of people standing in solidarity with others to hold space for asylum seekers who are being separated from their families unjustly, prosecuted, locked up, dying from preventable disease, and even death. Seeking asylum is not illegal.
Right.
Now, the lighthearted part about this is that Senator Torres Ray, Sue, Andrew, and myself, Sue and Andrew, didn't know we'd be standing here tonight. A little over 2 weeks ago, we didn't even know each other. Never met in person. But we were called to action after each of us had either read articles or listened to podcasts. Something stronger than ourselves forced us to reach out to each other. And you know what? We trusted each other right away. We need more of that. Let's help each other. Let's do good things in this world as individuals, in groups, to better the lives of every human, because we are all one human family. This is the way we can harness power of individuals into a larger group to do good. What we want right now is to make the invisible visible. We asked the senator if we could be instruments that she played in any way that would be helpful to make this event happen. Because we understand that the community that is most affected by what's happening should be the face and the voice of these events. She graciously granted us that. And Senator, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you so much. The true power is working together. Don't stay silent. And I just want to end with a quote by Anne Frank. Look at how a single candle can both defy and define darkness. Thank you. And now I would like to welcome Senator Torres Ray.
Buenas noches. I am so happy to see you here tonight. I want you to know that many immigrants come to this building to have their final hearing, their final immigration hearing, where their fate in this country will be decided. Many of you didn't even know this building was here. Now you know, and I want you to remember that. Not just to remember that you were here today, but that they are here every day, waiting for that moment that will define their lives in this country. Please do not forget. So tonight, around the world and around this country, many people are gathering for these vigils. Many of us are gathering. We're gathering together to say that we absolutely oppose the separation of children from their families, that we oppose their detention, and we oppose these detentions in conditions that no person, no child, anywhere shall suffer. That is what we are here for. We are here also to remind you that we need to remind the country that this president has only made agreeing on an approach to immigration in the United States far more difficult. And he has done so by systematically creating a false narrative about immigrants and fabricating a crisis that does not exist.
Yes.
So many of you have asked each other, many of you certainly have called me, have texted me, have sent messages in social media to say, what can I do? What can I do? And I have asked myself, what can I do? We are going to give you some ideas tonight. The people who are going to speak tonight are going to give you some ideas. But I only wanted to say one thing before I invite them to come to speak. I wanted to remind you that we didn't get here this year, that we didn't get here because this administration made these decisions. We got here because we fell into complacency. We fell into a trap in our actions and our thinking. We believed that we were safe. We believed that we were electing people who were working on behalf of all of us and who had our best interests at heart. I am going to give you an example of something that happened in Washington this week. Only 19 Democrats voted against the government funding deal. Mostly the Hispanic caucus and a few progressives. The House of Representatives was 2 votes short of approving $333 billion to spend at the border detaining families. Only 19 Democrats voted against this.
That's right.
The measure contained $1.4 billion in funding for physical border barriers when most Democrats were opposed to them. And it included funding for immigration enforcement efforts, in particular, beds to detain people apprehended at the border. Most Democrats didn't want that, but they voted for it. So the conservatives wanted $5.7 billion to create an industry for incarcerating people. I am going to remind you, I have been in the Senate for 12 years. We do this. We approve these measures that we disagree with, time and time again. I don't have the time to read the names of the people who voted against this, but all I can tell you is that not all the people who represent Minnesota actually voted on behalf of this package. Actually, only our Representative Ilhan Omar opposed this proposal. She was the only one. I need to remind you of that because we need voices like the voice of our representative in Washington. And all of you know that that is not easy. But we need her, and we need more voices like her voice.
That's right.
Let's remind our representatives that they represent us, that they represent the children at the border, and that they need to be fearless, and that they need to represent all of us, and that that is our expectation. That is my message tonight, and I thank you for being here tonight. Thank you. I am going to introduce now the Speaker of the House of Representatives, one of the strongest voices we have on behalf of immigrants, who authored a very important bill for my immigrants, and it was driver's licenses for all. He's here
right.
tonight, and we welcome you, Representative Ryan Winkler. Thank you for being a voice. Thank you for bringing the voice. Thank you for bringing the voice of the Minnesota House. Thank you.
People need to talk louder, close to the mic.
Good evening. This is a beautiful night. and I am honored to join with you. On behalf of the Minnesota House of Representatives, I'm here to bear witness with you and to build power with you. For too long, too many of us were willing to look away from what was happening at the border. We didn't want to see what our country was doing. We didn't want to see children in cages being maltreated. We didn't want to see families separated with no ability to return them together. We didn't want to see this humanitarian, not a crisis, but humanitarian malfeasance at our border. And through the work of organizations who are powerful because they bring people together, and people who are willing to speak up and be brave, far braver than I am in coming here today, people who are brave by being in this country every day and being activists and speaking out on issues, even though they face deportation for doing so. The power of those people is great because they do not operate from fear. They operate from love. And so that is how we can build power together. It is through coming together and bearing witness and making everyone see what is actually happening and not be allowed to look away. And it is also by organizing together and having the people's voice be heard very loudly in the corridors of power. As Majority Leader of the Minnesota House of Representatives, I carried 2 bills this year. One was to ban private prisons in the state of Minnesota. And the other bill was to provide driver's licenses for everyone, regardless of their status.
All right.
The laws of Minnesota represent the people of Minnesota and the values of the people of Minnesota, and the people of Minnesota fundamentally believe in loving each other. And we need to make sure that our laws are protecting people in our state and that our laws are representing the values that the people who sent them to office are carrying with them. And so I just want to say thank you for being here and for organizing. And when we go to work at the state capitol and in the Minnesota House of Representatives, we are powerful when we are together with people in the community. And the people who are going to speak after me are 3 of the most powerful people I know. I have had the opportunity to work with all of them on the driver's license bill, on workers' rights, and on a whole range of issues that affect the well-being of every Minnesotan. And so I hope that you will listen to the powerful stories that they have to share. And I am very honored to join with you in welcoming them tonight.
Good evening. My name is Veronica Mendez-Moore. I'm a co-director of SETUL. And standing in front of this building, my heart is a lot heavier tonight than I even thought it would be. And standing here looking at my 4-year-old son, Theo, my heart is broken. But my heart's been broken for a long time. My heart didn't break when I saw the images of the children. My heart was already broken. My heart didn't break when Donald Trump got elected. My heart was already broken. We've seen this happen throughout the course of history. There has always been an attempt to oppress, to terrorize, to marginalize our people because they want us to be scared. They want us to be in the shadows. They want people not to stand up for their rights. They want people not to stand up for justice. They want people to not be at the Capitol. They want people to not be in the streets, and so they terrorize us by putting our kids in cages. And it's terrifying for my community. It's terrifying for the people in my organization, for the members of my organization. But we are clear, I am clear, that I can't let that keep happening. That we can't let that keep happening. And that And I am clear that America was never great, and America was never on the right track. Because even when we say America, as though the United States were America, we're on the wrong track.
Yes, yes.
So I'm here tonight to say that, yes, we have to fight to stop the torture of our children. We have to fight to stop the separation of families, but we can't stop there. This is the symptoms of a much, much deeper evil that's living in our society. We need to fight for dignity for all people. We need to fight for liberation for all people, for fair wages for all people, safe and affordable housing for all people. And I hope we can continue to stand together, not just here, but in the streets, when we have to get in the streets, and to fight for all of these fights that are in front of us. Thank you.
Buenas noches. My name is Iris Altamirano, and I am a newly appointed president of SEIU Local 26. We are a union of 9,000 property service workers, janitors, window cleaners, airport service workers, security officers, and the retail workers that clean your local Targets. I am a president who, according to our local history, is louder. All right, so I am the first Latina president elected to, I believe, the labor movement, labor leader in the state, if I'm not mistaken. And the only reason that I share that with you, right, is because that is a big thing. I am honored to have this position and to be truly a worker of the workers. But I share that more because it's 2019 and there should not be first anything anymore. But I also want to share with you a little bit of my upbringing. So I'm originally from South Texas. I'm of the families who didn't go anywhere. On my dad's side of the family, the saying is, the border crossed us, we didn't cross the border. And so I share that because, you know, a lot of times, right, we are made to believe that Latinos are new, right? New immigrants coming to the United States, but that's not really the case. Latinos have been in the United States for a long time. You know, immigration has been around for a long time, and we're not new. But on my mother's side, I am come from a mixed status family, and for the first half or the early 80s, I was afraid. I would go to school and I was afraid that I wasn't gonna come home to my mom. And that's something that our children go through every day. The children at my local go through that. And then things kind of changed. There was a path to legalization. She was able to become the janitor of my school. And full circle right now, I'm president of the Janitors Union. But I share that because, you know, there's so many like contradictory things, right, going on right now, and like I'm so happy to be in this space and sharing tonight with you for a common thing. But at the same time, I wish that the reason why we're all together was so different. Yes. I wish that the children and in the detention centers, like, we're actually having good nights, right? Because they're not. And this is so painful because, you know, we are showing up as co-directors of really powerful organizations, presidents of really powerful organizations, executive directors of really powerful organizations, but really we're here as women of color who see those images and very easily see Teo and Miranda and Carlos. And it's painful, but how this regime, they really know how to get us where it really hurts. But it's fuel. It's fuel for me. And I know that it's fuel for every single one of you too, because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't fuel for you. And we are in the fight of our lives. We really are. So power up, fuel up, because we're gonna have to do things that have never been asked of us to do. And I'm up for the challenge, and I know that you are too.
Good night. My name is Emilia Gonzalez Avalos. I'm the director of Navigate Minnesota and also Unidos Minnesota. And I'm gonna be frankly honest with you. I try to prep and think about what to say with all of you, and I scratch every single one of the papers that I had worked on. And I'm gonna be very vulnerable with y'all. I've never been in this place. In fact, this place itself represents something that I have feared for the last 20 years. That car right there paralyzes me in the streets. But I will tell you something that I learned in this journey as an immigrant, as someone who's deportable. Every single day is an opportunity to do better. And I chose to do better today. And I chose to confront my fear, the fear that has existed in the back of my head for 20 years, and that especially got triggered when I became a mother, because I know what it is to grow up without a parent. And my parents know what it is to grow up without a parent. This is, as Veronica said, not new. This has been a slow, heartbreaking, a slow, intentional heartbreaking that has happened in communities of color. This is not only a Latino issue. This is an issue that is happening globally. So as we are appalled to hear and see people drowning in the Mediterranean, as we're appalled to see what's happening at the southern border, we just must reckon with the fact that if we don't address the ways in which our economic system is working, these will still happen in more and more places around the world. As you hear my voice shaking, I have to show my gratitude because we have a lot of familiar faces. I am here in community. I'm not just outside the ICE building and I feared deeply. I'm here with my sisters. I'm here with our friends who have worked in elected offices for many years, who have been working alongside of us. But I was sharing vulnerably that I didn't know what to say 5 minutes ago. And my sister and my friend said that I'm not only here with us who we see each other in real life. I keep walking with the lessons and the power of our ancestors. And I know that. And I need those reminders. And I know all of us need those reminders too. If you are new to this issue, welcome. We've been waiting for you. If you've been walking with us for a long time, we're grateful. We need you to hold on and keep walking alongside because this is a long road. If you feel like you're tired and you're overwhelmed like many of us sometimes do, don't give up. Don't give up.
Because I promise you, while we have a very complicated history of human rights violations and pain and suffering, we have also been excluded from learning the real history of resistance, the real history that have brought us here. I know there's families, generational families of survivors of the Holocaust in this place. We honor you, and we want to build the next world with you. We have children of those who have suffered for their color of their skin, for their creed, for their social class, for loving who they love. And I promise you, we need you. We need you to help us shape that world we want to live. And I will close with an invitation to not allow yourself to get paralyzed by fear. It is valid. What we're living is not normal. But don't isolate. Share this with your folks. There's someone in our communities who is paralyzed by fear. It is heavy. There's many ways to show up, and we need all the possible ways to show up that we can think of right now. I'm very grateful of being here. As I was walking here, I have a 10-year-old, and she's probably gonna be embarrassed that I'm sharing this story with you. But you know, sometimes our children wanna go to the bathroom in the most inappropriate places at times. And she's like, do you think they will let us go into the bathroom in there? I'm like, they will probably let you, but I don't think I'm the right person to take you in. So, but like that helped me ground to understand that if this is the way that I have to live, to inherit all these beautiful brown, black, and little faces to the world that we have been promised that it's gonna come, so be it. And I'm ready to fight. And I'm ready to fight with all of you. Thank you.
We want to invite Keith Ellison, one of our best friends, the best organizers in this state. Keith, we're so happy you're here.
Good night, friends. How's it going tonight? You know, tonight I want to call upon all of us to take bold action, to resolve, to be in this struggle for the long term. I want to encourage all of us to take good care of each other, as Amelia recommended, and to work hard to settle whatever differences we may have within our own ranks. Because solidarity and longevity and stamina is what this moment is going to call for. Yes. At this moment, at this very hour, our fellow neighbors are worried whether a government agent is going to come knocking on their door to take their family member away. This is the second time in the last month that the highest elected official in the United States has threatened to send raiders after our fellow neighbors. This is very emotionally challenging. It's tough, but we can endure it if we stick together and we resolve that we're not going to let this be our America. Look, I will be the last one to say that this is not us. Oh, it's us. But it doesn't have to be what we're dreaming of as a nation. We have a different vision of our country, which is one in which everybody counts and everybody matters, where everybody is a part, where nobody is left out, where everybody has a place and can develop to the full measure of their own blessing. where we can protect and honor the earth that we're on and each other. That is the vision we have, and that we better be ready to fight for in the long term. And it is important to understand, and I say this, and I say it again, you've never heard of an illegal, undocumented corporation, have you?
That's right.
It's because they cross whatever borders they want in search of the lowest wages they can find to boost up their wages as high as they can get them.
Yeah.
But when people want to go where they can go to live a better life for themselves, they get stopped. And they get told they don't have the right papers. The bottom line is that these corporations that go all over the world in search of their profits, they do it because people made rules that they could. And we need to make some rules that human beings can go where they need to go to live the lives they want to live. Right now, it is important to keep in mind that yes, these folks who I'm talking about are trying to get those of us who were born here to look suspiciously at those of them who came. We will not do it. Solidarity is resistance, people. One of the most radical things you can do is love somebody. Very important. But we keep this in mind because as we're fighting on that struggle, they're trying to tell us, they're telling the young people that all the older folks are taking the Social Security, so they're not going to have any. They're telling the folks who need jobs in industry that they can't have jobs because other people are demanding a clean environment. They're telling us that the Muslims are going to get us. They're telling us that Jews control everything. They're telling us that they're trying to get us to turn on each other. Because if we turn on each other, it's so much easier for them to control all of us. Radical solidarity is what this moment calls for. They're telling us that the black folks are criminals, the Latinos are criminals. They're telling us the white people are irredeemably racist and can never be fair to another person who doesn't look like them. That's what they tell us. It's not true. But if we lock arms and we stand together and we insist and we fight back, we can have that America that we're dreaming of. And I'm just telling you that as your people's lawyer, I will be not just filing briefs and suing Trump, which I am doing. But we know that the lawyers aren't the important people. We know that the people are the important people. And we will stand with the people, shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, to fight for and build a more just, more humane, more loving world. God bless you guys.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Oh, we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. The older I get, the better I know that the secret of my going on is when the reins are in the hands of the young who dare to run against the storm. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. which touches me most is that I have the chance to work with people, passing on to others that which was passed on to me. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Until the loving of brown and black people is as important as the loving of white people. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. They said one song, but you know. Okay, because music is very powerful and it really brings us together and reminds us. So let me just do this. Let me slip this one in real quick. Okay. Somebody's hurting my brother and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Oh, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting my brother and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Somebody's hurting my sister. Somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on far too long. Oh, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our sister, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Our trans fam. Somebody's hurting our trans fam, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Oh, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our trans fam, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Our neighbors. Somebody's hurting our neighbors, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our neighbors, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Our children. Somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Oh, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore. What'd you say, Win? And we won't be silent anymore.
Thank you very much for that wonderful music. Can we just give another round of applause for the amazing singers? Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Maria Regan Gonzalez, and I'm the first Latina mayor in Minnesota's history. And thank you. And I'm proud to represent the city of Richfield.
Good evening. I'm Melissa Lopez France, and I'm a senator for District 49, and I see the Puerto Rican flag over there, and the reason I'm shouting out is because I'm Boricua. And I'm the first Latina elected in my district, and I happen to have a privilege of being born and raised in Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States, if you didn't know. So I'll start with the first story. And I'm also a mother of a 2.5-year-old and a 4-year-old tomorrow's birthday. I was given a blanket and a mattress, but then at 3 a.m., the guards took the blanket and mattress. My baby was left sleeping on the floor. In fact, almost every night, the guards wake us at 3 o'clock in the morning and take away our sleeping mattresses and blankets. They leave babies, even little babies of 2 or 3 months, sleeping on the cold floor. For me, because I'm so pregnant, sleeping on the floor is very painful for my back and hips. I think the guards act this way to punish us. Age 17, female.
And we have a couple other people here. They're going to be sharing the testimonies from inside the border.
Good night, Monica Hurtado. Another story. They told us that we could only have one layer of clothing, and they threw away the rest of our clothes in the garbage. My baby got wet, and I had to take his pants off 2 days ago, and I have not been able to get any pants for him. Nos dijeron que solo podíamos tener una capa de ropa y tiraron el resto de nuestra ropa a la basura. Mi bebé se mojó y tuve que quitarle los pantalones hace 2 días. No he podido conseguir ningún pantalón.
They took us away from our grandmother, and now we are all alone. They have not given us to our mother. We have been here for a long time. I have to take care of my little sister. She is very sad because she misses our mother and grandmother very much. We sleep on a cement bench. There are 2 mats in the room, but the big kids sleep on the mats, so we have to sleep on the cement bench.
We have only bathed once since being detained. On June 4th, we were taken to an area with about 28 showers. We bathed and we brushed our teeth. Since then, however, we have not been able to bathe. I have not been able to wash and clean my baby since June 4th. We do not have toothbrushes or toothpaste or towels in the cages. My daughter's onesie is very dirty, and I have not been able to wash it since June 4th.
Good night, everyone. My name is Daniel. Are we ready to fight back?
Yeah. Oh yeah!
Are we ready to protect our neighbors?
Oh yeah!
Good. Thank you everyone for being here today. Please bear with me. This testimony is very hard because it hits me. I was also in a cage for 24 hours. So when you hear the stories of all these children that are drinking water from toilets, that's true, because it happened to me. They tortured me mentally for 24 hours when I was in there with my 2 brothers. So they told me many times they were gonna take me away from them. So these children are going through hell, just like I did. So this is a testimony of a 12-year-old just like me. I am hungry here, clean all the time. I am so hungry that I wake up in the middle of the night with hunger. Sometimes I wake up with hunger at 4 in the morning, sometimes at other hours. I am too scared to ask the officials here for more food, even though there is not enough food here for me. Tengo tanta hambre aquí en Clean todo el tiempo. Tengo tanta hambre que me despierto en medio de la noche con hambre. A veces me despierto del hambre a las 4 de la mañana. A veces otras horas Tengo demasiado miedo de pedirle a un oficial más comida. No hay suficiente comida para mí. So please, people, we need all of you. These children need all of you. And I am here as an undocumented Mexicano fighting for these children as well. So we need you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all of those stories. My name is Karen Moratz. I'm the Executive Director of Jewish Community Action. My name is Karen Moratz. I'm the Director of Jewish Community Action. Thank you. I think many of us here tonight feel something when we hear those stories, and I think about my own community's history. It's been painful for many of us in the Jewish community to have our trauma and how we're allowed to talk about it used as a ploy and a distraction to keep us from fully engaging in the truth about what's being done to detainees in concentration camps. The truth is that many communities, many here tonight, many who've been on this land, have stories of detention and dehumanization, family separation, persecution, and genocide. And we can't allow ourselves to isolate those stories or to position them as unique and historical circumstances if it keeps us from seeing the warning signs and clear implications that it could be happening again. The purpose of remembering our pain is not to put it in a glass case, but to make sure that we stop and prevent the pain of others. When the Jewish community says never again, that must mean never again for anyone. I'm here tonight representing Jewish Community Action, who has worked for many years for humane immigration reform and justice for all immigrants. This is a priority for us as Jews. Our text, the Torah, is very clear on the treatment of the immigrant, the stranger. Among our commandments, this one is issued 36 times. More than any other topic, this is made clear and it is important. Exodus says, "You shall not wrong a stranger or oppress them, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Leviticus says, "The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love them as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." We are commanded many, many times to welcome the stranger and to love them as ourselves, for we were strangers once. And in this commandment, there are actually two jobs: to insist and to fight for the humane and compassionate treatment for all migrants, and to never forget where we came from or how we got to where we are. Now, immigration is not the story of all American Jews. Some of us come from families who are native to this land, and some of our families were brought here as enslaved people. But it is a story that many of us do share, and it has not always been easy or straightforward. We have been the stranger, and we have not been welcome. In the 1920s, the United States passed, at the time, unprecedentedly restrictive immigration laws with the explicit aim of keeping out immigrants considered undesirable, specifically and especially Jews. The passage of those laws kept some Eastern European Jews from coming to the United States, but not all. Many came anyway. And it's estimated that in the decade before the Holocaust, tens of thousands of Jews fled to the United States from places like Russia and Poland to escape religious persecution, economic hardship, and violent pogroms. These were families like mine. They came even though the law did not welcome them. Of course they did. Many of us are here tonight because they did. And we remember and we welcome the stranger. But I've been told this is the faith part, not the political part. And it's meaningful. It's so meaningful to be speaking with you now as the sun is setting and we're beginning Shabbat. Shabbat, which begins at sundown on Friday and runs through just after sundown on Saturday, is our holiest day. It's our day of rest. And it's the day on which we end our week and we shrug off the week. For some, it involves prayer. For some, it involves reflection or simply rest. But it is a day on which we Jews are commanded not to do what some might consider work. And at the time that was codified into the Ten Commandments, that was a radical idea. The Jewish people had just been freed from slavery, and we have now been commanded not to labor for 25 hours. And this is a moment of liberation, and it is a moment of justice. Right. On Shabbat, we are not workers and we are not bosses. We resist the idea of human capital, and we cease to control the movements of any human. For Jewish Community Action, for me, Shabbat exists as a moment of social justice, a time to reflect and envision what a just world could look like. And I am so honored to be here with you all to begin it together. Now, we traditionally begin Shabbat by lighting candles. Many in our community are already in shul or at home doing that, and many of you are here and have missed the opportunity to do that. So as we light our candles, we're going to say the Shabbat candle blessing. And I'm going to say it, and if your observance indicates it, and if you so choose, I invite you to say it with me. Where's Imogen with the candles? On-air production meeting. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Shabbat.
I'm Reverend Kelly Clement. I'm the Social Justice Minister at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. I am meant to offer a prayer here, but every word we have heard, every song we have sung has been the prayer that is needed tonight. The witness, the testimony that was just read from people who are suffering the incarceration, the detentions, that's the prayer. There are no words beyond that. So let me say to you, beautiful people, people of faith and people of no faith, may we use these lights to illuminate the history of resistance. May we use these lights to see in each other's faces a beautiful, mighty, weary, strong, scared, mighty, connected community. May we know that these lights we kindle tonight are joined with those at, we heard, 788 other events, maybe millions of candles across the globe that say no more. Our humanity demands no more. Again and again and again, across the history of humanity, we demand no more. Something is being illuminated here. For some of us, it's new. And for some people, you've been lighting the way for a long time. May we see in each other's faces the strength of the ancestors that has gone before, and continue the light, and continue the light, and continue the light. Say it with me. And continue the light, and continue the light, and continue the light. We will now have a couple of minutes of silence as we move into this time of vigil. Blessed be, and amen.
All right, everybody, that was 2 minutes. That's harder than it seems to stay silent that long. We have 2 other speakers that would like to say a brief word, and then we'll be done. And then I'll come back with next steps.
Okay. So my name is Daisy. I organize with MIRAC, and I've also done work with Unidos. I wasn't prepared to talk, but I prepared something really brief, so I'm just gonna read it. There are so many people suffering in silence. We all need to start uplifting their stories. One story that I'll share with you all is the story of Gladys Weeks. She will show up before a judge who will determine her fate in 5 days at this very building. So that's Wednesday, July 17th. She came to this country when she was 1 year old. She's now 34 years old. She has a 7-year-old daughter, and she may find herself in Liberia, a country she hasn't been to for 33 years. I want to remind us all that laws are not always just. Some may argue that people like Gladys came to this country illegally. I'll tell them, what about the settlers who decided to kill for land, who decided to enslave Africans for power? What about the politicians who decided to kill immigrants by funding a border that kills? Institutions such as ICE and CBP that criminalizes black and brown bodies. Legality is not synonymous with morality. Pick a side. Complacency is not what we need. Our struggles are all connected, believe it or not. Immigration is not just an issue that happens here in the United States. It happens everywhere. And myself as a DACA recipient, some of my fellow activists here, they said that they're scared. I'm scared. And as I've always said, solidarity is what we need. Sorry. Okay,
Love you, Daisy.
Thank you. So, I wish someone could help me for this, but I had the privilege of going to the border recently. Oh my gosh. And it's just... You're amazing! It's really sad to see what people actually go through. And not many people know what's going on at the border. And people die. People die. And so people may want to silence me. And before I went to the border, I wasn't as outspoken as I am now. Because I now realize how important it is for us to use our voice to help the less fortunate. Okay, I don't like being emotional, but so my organization, we are organizing a report back to talk about our experience at the border. It's going to be Monday, July 22nd at 7 p.m. at El Colegio High School. If you want more information, you can follow MIRAC. And one thing I remember writing in my journal when we were at the border is I would sometimes just like randomly see a flower, and I was like, I get to come here and enjoy the beauty of a flower, where some immigrants, that's the last image that they saw before they died. So this is real. And that's all I wanted to say. Sorry for crying.
Hi everyone, my name is Nikki. I am a staff member for Congresswoman Ilhan Omar here in her district office. The Congresswoman unfortunately is not able to join in person tonight, but she is with you in spirit, and she asked me to read this letter here on her behalf. Dear friends, thank you for spending your Friday evening outside the ICE offices in Fort Snelling. While I'm unable to be with you in person this evening, I stand with you today and every day in the fight for immigration justice. This weekend, President Trump is set to begin immigration raids all over the country. He keeps talking about quote-unquote illegal immigrants, while ICE and Border Patrol continue to break numerous laws, violate international human rights standards, and violate core human principles of dignity and family unity. I could not be more disgusted by what this administration has done to target and attack people who are our friends, neighbors, and family. That is why I have repeatedly called for us to abolish ICE and establish a new agency that is accountable to Congress and to the public. We cannot allow a lawless, discriminatory agency to continue operating like it has been. Here in Minnesota, ICE is proposing to expand detention by hundreds of beds. The two places that are fighting to imprison more people have some of the worst records in our state and in our country. Instead of expanding expensive, inhumane detention, we need to adopt community-based alternatives while people wait for their day in court. Many of these practices are effective while costing exponentially less, a fact that has been confirmed by the Department of Homeland Security itself. But even these numbers speak only to the cost to taxpayers. They don't include the immeasurable costs paid every day by the detained, their families, and our communities. The policy of extended detention for all individuals, regardless of flight risk or history of behavior, tears families apart without providing any benefit to our communities. We have a lot to do, but I am inspired to know that so many of my fellow Minnesotans are fighting for the great American tradition of opening our doors to people who are fleeing violence and chaos in hopes of a better life. Thank you for being here tonight, and I look forward to fighting alongside you for immigration justice. Sincerely, Ilhan Omar.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk loud enough. I just wanted to say a few words about next steps. I know that you're all here tonight, but many of us just want to know what else can we do. So in your Facebook invitation tomorrow, we will be sharing a document that has suggestions. Many organizations that need help, need your money, need your time as a volunteer, and other actions like this that you might want to be aware of. For those of you, so in a Facebook event, once it's over, you can't see it so readily. You have to go to your past events in your Facebook page to find it, but we will upload pictures and this next steps document for all of you to use in the coming weeks and years. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Sue, thank you so much for coming to my office and asking me to do this. We will continue this journey together. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Go home, do the work, continue to be an activist, and make sure that you take everything you brought with you. Please. Thank you so much.
Shine it as we shut this down. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, shine it as we shut this down. I'm gonna let it shine. Shine it as we shut it down. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I said, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All in my hood, all in my hood, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all in my hood, I'm gonna let it shine. In my neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I won't let ice blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. No, I won't let ice blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let ice blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Won't let a oppression blow it out. I won't let oppression blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. No, I won't let oppression blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let oppression blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This big light of mine. This big light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I said this big light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This big light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. 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 We are the million. Now I'm like lost here. We are the million artist movement. Let me tell you what we're all about. We're about black liberation without intimidation, and we sure do need it now. What do we need now? Liberation. Why? 'Cause white supremacy kills. How are we gonna get it? We listen, we learn, we study, and we struggle. We're at the nexus of art and politics. Black, brown, indigenous artists, and folks who will fight for the cause. Because we are the million artist movement. Let me tell you what we're all about. We're about black liberation without intimidation, and we sure do need it now. Oh yeah, we sure do need it now. Oh yeah, we sure do need it now.